It was a gun.
I'm not voting.
If we want to build our nation.
The problem with the Somalians.
Just want to experience something else than a black man.
Move on, move
Can't be
forward.
like a horse with blinkers on.
Honestly say, I was about to have
Corrupt
sex and then I pulled
crap,
up.
but it's nice.
I am Ulwazi Wakwampanza Isibongo. I am a feminist. I'm also an activist and a researcher.
My name is Takalani Nemangoe. I'm the station manager of Alex FM. I also serve as the CEO of South African Community Radio Organization, SACRO, which is the mother body for 78 community radio stations in the country.
My name is Mbuyiselo Bota. I am a commissioner at the Commission for Gender Equality at Chapter 9 institution. My focus in the commission is about GBV. It's about working with men and boys.
My name is Utulile Wagagama. So, Mina, I'm a content creator and a digital marketer. So, but also I've got obviously a degree in journalism.
I'm Bongi Mohale. I am a production editor for the SABC's Digital News Division.
I'm Chesna Aston. I'm a critical race theory practitioner. I teach or educate on race and racism from a CRT perspective. I'm a human rights activist. I run a magazine called The Fair Digest, specifically or primarily for Black and brown people to be able to tell their stories.
Living in a digital world means that we have access to the latest information on just about any subject, right? However, it is increasingly difficult to know or to somehow sift out what information is truth from the masses of lies, myths, and misinformation that's all over the internet and social media. Have you ever been a victim of fake news?
I've not been a victim of fake news personally, but I've experienced, because I'm working for a radio station here, where a colleague will run with a fake story and then we suffer the consequences as a radio station, to a point that we're taken to BCCSA. The matter was also taken to ICASA. We nearly lost our license. So that's how hectic it got.
I've been a victim of fake news in terms of social media that made me lose so much more than just my reputation. It made me lose opportunities for work based on lies. It eventually, because it wouldn't stop and the harassment wouldn't stop, people don't want to hear the truth. That's the bottom line. When somebody comes with a lie, it's very difficult to come with the truth afterwards. And so eventually I ended up having to go to the courts to seek protection orders from people and lying about or telling lies about me, spreading lies about me.
I have not personally experienced fake news, but I have, in the work that one does with GBV, with femicide, one has seen a rise of how women in particular, their experiences are delegitimized by fake news. For an example, where you would a woman would cry rape, or someone would say that here's an incident of rape, and you have an individuals then coming on to talk about, you see, this is what women do.
Right now on social media, people create false stories about other people. It's either for likes, it's either for, to grow their pages, their blogs and all of that. And then they create this news just for that. So, and who checks it?
Just an example. I mean, recently you have had a woman who were told had given birth to 10 children, 10 babies. Suddenly, boom, yesterday, then Peter Mbedi sent an apology to both his colleague staff And where does that leave us? I mean, the country was in a frenzy. Where does that say? But also, you are never sure because it comes from an authoritative source, from independent news, who you are made to believe that this source is authentic. This source, in fact, you can believe it suddenly. But then think of what has that done to that woman. What has that done also to women in general?
The story was not spread by Piet Ramperi. It was started there, yes. But every other journalist ran with it. Oh, here's a story. Let me also get in on the action type thing. And so before you knew it was at the BBC. Come now, that's laziness.
And in Alex FM, Taki,
Sure.
if you go or you get implicated in measures of now having to attend court, who then now verifies stories before they, aired on radio?
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Lwazi. I think it's just we enforce training and make sure that our reporters, journalists are well trained. And I think over and above, it's not even an issue of training because, like the latter speaker said, there's just some sense of laziness around the reporters, and they just want things to happen quick. They lack research or they don't investigate, like the story that they just mentioned now of 10 kids. That story, obviously, the journalist, no matter how professional he is, how good he is, he did not do his proper research or investigate the story thoroughly before he can publish the story. Because we are now in a space where social media is fast, everything is fast-paced. So the people, reporters, they always want to break stories. They have a feel of wanting to break stories. And I always share with my team here at Alex FM that, you know what, as far as social media is here, everyone is in the space, and obviously we'll use our power as a radio to penetrate into that market. But we must always remember that we are a platform ourselves as a radio station. There are still people who tune in to the radio at 8:00 just to listen to the news and tune off or go back to their social medias. So when you get a story that is trending or they just broke a story on social media, it is your duty now as a reporter, a news reader, or a journalist to verify so that at 8:00 you are going to give a full comprehensive report. You will have obviously called the family if it's a story that involves the family. You will have obviously verified with the police. You will have got a full comprehensive report. Unlike just breaking a story to say people are killing each other at Madala Hostel, it might be xenophobic attacks. You are not sure if it's a xenophobic attack or this is just a criminal activity taking place in our community. Because when you go on the radio and say those kind of things, as you found them on social media, you are now fueling certain things unaware.
For TV, we have to take great care because there's always a comeback. Radio, there's always a comeback. But for online news, the comeback is, and it's a forever comeback because it will, if you publish something, it's even a smaller than a mistake. First of all, it would be like, oh no, they need to upgrade their English. These ones, they can't spell. From something as simple as that, to then you went and you run with some ludicrous story. These days, because of the agency of social media, of course, social media is putting so much pressure on journalists that now they just want to be the first so that they can increase their followings. The publication has more followings because now a lot of things in the world is judged based on how many followers do you have. I want to partner with you, I want to collaborate with you because of the certain number of followers that you have on social media, and then it takes away the authenticity of the work, and then it just becomes about like the numbers and the followers, which obviously is sad. And then that's what leads to people now creating information, like a manga, like you create a story, it's not the. I don't like to buy into, let's say, this titling of things as fake news, because what it is lies. That's it. So whether it's radio, TV, or social media, we can't broadcast lies. We, as a public broadcaster, actually have a responsibility not to inform the public, not to lie to the public. The use of the title fake news, I think I don't know if it's an attempt to either sanitize. There's no such thing. It's lies.
I mean, during the COVID time, we saw the government, Department of Health, coming forward and saying, guys, if the information does not come from us, then don't take it as the truth. Always go to us to verify this information. But if information doesn't come from a department or an organization, it's very hard to verify if it's something like a personal attack, like Tesma said, if it's directed at you. Because even if you come again and say, no, guys, but this is not true, people really don't care. They care about the story that landed like 1 million shares and 1 million views.
One of the spaces where the lies flourish is these WhatsApp groups. You'll see there's always an auntie spreading something, saying this is happening. Sometimes some situations, they don't open themselves to the authority of the law. For instance, are you really gonna hand Gogo in? But if you provide Gogo with information, if you are able to explain things simply to people so that when they are spreading, because they're very good at using WhatsApp to these family groups of ours, but you give them information which is simple and helpful and true and factually accurate, I think is a good way of combating lies, because I don't know anything else that fights lies better than the actual truth.
So now it has to be up to us as citizens. If somebody puts something that is false, and then you know very well that it's false, report it. You can even report it on the social media platform. If it's Twitter, you can report it on Twitter, you can report it on Facebook, so that that particular person that keeps spreading false information could be blocked from the platform or removed from the platform. So also we ourselves should be able to make sure that we don't allow this spread of false information, because it really does ruin people's life. We've seen during the COVID, when everybody was home, like every day there was like a hashtag, someone must fall, this must fall, this must fall, which is it breaks people's careers just because you happen to say something wrong, and it could be corrected and then could move on, but it ended up being something else. So yeah.
My dream is already now the lies that are out there should be deleted out of the archives.
My dream is to see government enforcing laws that are going to, assist in the process of dealing with people who are spreading fake or lies or fake news in the country.
My dream is to educate people about also the consequences of spreading such fake news.
My dream this morning and tomorrow is to ensure that our journalists, they become activists and they work hard in ensuring that what they put out there is authentic, it's authentic, because information is life and death.
My dream is that people apply some level of critical thinking before looking at something or reading something and purely believing it. Turn it over 300 times if you have to. That's my dream.
My dream is for our people to be armed with the skills, with the access to acquire the skills and the information, so that things like lies and fake news find it very, very difficult to take root.
Yazi, you should ever sit and talk with people, or else take a walk and create a straight talk. Talk what is nice, it will make you feel stronger. Listen what is right and say what is wrong. You should ever sit and talk with people, or else take a walk and create a straight talk. Talk what is nice, it will make you feel stronger. Listen what is right and say what is wrong.